G'day everyone, I'm Steve Gannon and welcome back to Aussie Golf Pros. Well, Sydney's finally got some rain and it will not stop. It's filming day, but the weather has just been relentless. It will not stop raining. The wind has been super strong all day, but the show must go on. And this week's video was a really important one, and so I'm keen to get it out to you regardless of the weather. Now, this week's video is inspired by one of our cadets, one of our juniors' fathers. Steve Armitage wrote to us and said, look, I go out with the juniors, the cadets, every Saturday, and there's a common theme happening wherever they are faced with a tee shot or on a tee box that has some type of obstacle in front of it, whether that be water or a really long garden bed or a penalty area or anything that they have to go over. They really struggle with it. And he says one of the common things that they all seem to do is they all seem to try and hit it way too hard to get over. That he's really noticed that their whole physical swing, the way that they approach it changes. But mate, you're exactly right. It is very much a mental game video, and it's very much on focus of attention. What the young golfers are seeing when they come up is trouble. And trouble normally means that you've got to try and change something. Now, I'd like to say it's most young golfers. The junior golfers and the cadets, a lot of the times, all the coaching they've ever been given has all just been on the golf swing and on technique and on, getting started and on how to play the game and how to navigate around the course and all those types of things. But it's not just a junior cadet problem. The mental game or the pre-shot routine or the process behind hitting a golf shot has escaped many a golfer right the way through the ranks. And this particular video is really highlighting the importance of a pre-shot routine, or at least the importance and understanding about the process before hitting a golf shot. Now I'm on the first here at Stonecutters. I'm just waiting on my new TSI driver and fairway wood to arrive. So I've only got my fairway wood left. So I'm going to be hitting this shot with a 3-wood. But I'm standing on the first at Stonecutters and it's a par 5. And from the men's back tee, we've probably got, a good 60, 70 meters of literally, the English would call it heather. It's like tall native grasses. You're hitting in it, you basically reload. And if you were to stand out on the first tee on a Saturday morning at Stonecutters, you'd see many a golfer hit it straight into it. Now, being the first and with people watching, there's a multitude of reasons why anxiety and outcome-based thinking will get to the average member. Unfortunately, what that member doesn't understand what he's doing is if you ask most of them, what were you focusing on, what were you thinking about, it's, I just want to make contact. I don't want to hit it into that stuff in the front. I don't want to hit it right out of bounds, and I don't want to hit it left into the penalty area. And they're the 3 obstacles facing you on the first at Stonecutters. Out of bounds right, penalty area left, a red marked old hazard, and 70 meters of carry before you even get to the rough. And so if you're an established member and you're faced with these problems, imagine what it's like for a junior or a cadet who's just starting out and really has no idea about how to approach adversity in his golf game. So what are we talking about here? What we're talking about is understanding that all we control in any golf shot is the process. So what I mean by that is that everything that we do before striking the ball, we have control of. We have control of what we focus on. We have control of what target we pick. We have a control of visualizing the shot. We have control of what club we want to use. We have control of alignment and everything pre-strike we have total control of. What we don't have control of is anything after we hit the ball. Because it doesn't matter whether you're on the putting green or on the first tee, I could set up, do everything absolutely perfect, strike it straight out the middle, have it soaring beautifully down the middle of the fairway, and a big gust of wind comes, blows it slightly offline, it bounces a couple of times, catches the corner of the bunker and rolls up under the lip. Now everything prior to that gust of wind I've done perfectly. I can't control what happens after I've struck the ball. But what we can control is everything we do before. And that's why it's so important to have a structured pre-shot process that we can rely on before we hit the shot. Now, thankfully, it's something that a lot of the top coaches are really starting to teach their junior golfers. And that's the non-tangible stuff. That's the stuff about the mind and how you can control your emotions and how you can control the way you behave and what you do out on the golf course. Now, in this particular example, and replying to Steve's email, we're going to talk about the cadets. So what these young juniors are doing is called outcome-based thinking. They're taking themselves out of the present moment. The only thing that we have is the present. You've heard me talk about it before. We've got 3 time zones. We have past, we have present and future. 2 don't exist. All we have is the now. And so we need to stay in the now, especially before each shot, and having a structured pre-shot process is super important. Now, there's no cookie cutter rule as to what your pre-shot process is. Everybody's is different. Some is really structured, like a military 1, 2, 3, 4, and I must do this and I must do that. Others are much more feel, where, you know, they might just have one swing, and if that feels right and they've visualized and they've done what they needed to do, then on they go. Others will have, no, I do 1, 2, 3, and then I tap my wood, or whatever they want to do. There's a few things that I think are a must in your pre-shot process. What we need to do is get your brain, get your mind ready right at that present point before you hit the shot. Now, there's a couple of must-dos. One must-do is target. It's our ultimate external focus. What we need to do is focus on exactly where we want to hit it. Now, we can't be wishy-washy about this, otherwise we'll get wishy-washy results. We need to be laser focused on our target. It needs to be pinpoint. So it's not just down the fairway, it's not just down the left side, it's exactly where you want it to go. So if that means that you see it fading 2 meters inside the fairway, the cut part of the fairway, and rolling into the middle, then I want it to be that exact. I want it to be that precise, and I don't care if you're off +3 or 33. It really doesn't matter. Giving your subconscious mind, your brain, your thinking system, really precise coordinates is imperative. It's vital for you to be able to perform at your best and hit the best golf shot that you can hit. Second most important thing, or number 2, or they're not even in any order, but number 2 is you must be able to visualize. You cannot hit the shot you want to be able to hit unless you've been able to see yourself do it. Now, there's lots of ways, and people say, I can't visualize, and then I ask them to picture the shot that they're going to hit, and they say, oh yeah, I want to hit, and I say, well, that's visualizing. It doesn't mean that you must have this precise way of doing it. Whether you get a feel for the shot you want to see, or you can really like visualize a corridor, or any type of way that you can create in your mind exactly what you want to do, that's visualizing. So it's really important that we have our target, pinpoint target picked out, and we can see ourselves hitting that shot. The other one I'd like to throw in, especially for the juniors, is really good positive self-talk. Now for the juniors, I like to use, I want you to speak to yourself like you speak to your mum out there. And so telling yourself you suck and all of these words is not going to help anybody out there, especially not going to help you. You've got to be the kindest caddy in the world. If you had a caddy that every time you hit a poor shot said, you suck, you're the worst putter in the world, you can't hit it off the tee for toffee, you're getting rid of that caddy, right? You don't want him on your bag. Well, you need to be your number 1 positive caddy. You need to give yourself the right motivation and the right words to give you the confidence to be able to perform at your best. When you're faced with adversity off the tee, so what I mean by that is when you come up to a hole where it might not suit your eye, you hear a lot of people say that it doesn't suit my eye, and that normally just means that it doesn't suit the shot shape I like to hit. So if you're a left or right hitter and all the trouble's on the right, then it's not going to suit your eye, right? But it's not going to suit your eye if you let it. You've really got to use your advantage of the shot shape that you hit, whatever that may be, to visualize and pinpoint the exact target where you want to go. So if that means you need to start it out down the left a little bit further, then you have confidence in doing that because that's the shape shot you hit anyway. But super, super important to give yourself exact coordinates, the right words, and to visualize exactly what you want to do. So just before you go, make sure you tell the young guys 4 points to hitting every golf shot. Target, pick your target. Super focus, laser focus on exactly where you want to do it. Routine. Try and stick to the same thing that you do. For the juniors, keep it nice and simple. Make a couple of practice strokes, a couple of deep breaths, and move in to hit your shot. Commitment. Number 3, you must commit. Once you've picked just the shot that you want to hit and you've decided on everything, then commit to it. 4th, and I almost think it's my most favorite one, for me it's the most important, and that's acceptance. You need to accept what is. You cannot change what you've just done. It's done, move on. We've got another X amount of shots to hit. We've got another 4 or 5 holes to go. We've got another 18 holes to go. You need to accept and move on. If you go through this pre-shot process over and over and over again, you give yourself the best chance to play to your ability. You give yourself the best chance to access your best skills when you need it. Glenn and I love bringing you videos. Golf's our passion just as much as it's yours. Rain, hail, or sunshine, wind, we're out here. Please subscribe. We would love it if you could hit that little bell below. The little bell, all that does is it gives you a notification from YouTube that we've done another one. And so, we're going to bring you stuff every week. It's good quality stuff. I hope to see you soon. Enjoy your golf. The golf course is looking magnificent with all that nitrogen boosted rain. See you guys soon.